Are you searching for adventure?
Twink, bear, cub, otter.
She was like a murdery Gorton's fisherman.
Wait, this happened in the movie?
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Well, hello everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It's time for another episode of A Lifetime of Hallmark, where we talk about your favorite movies on both Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel, and we try to make sense of them. I am Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett.
And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and hello, Jason Bowers.
Well, it's here. This is our tax season. This is our podcast's busiest time of the year. It's Christmas movie time. And because of the state of the planet, the state of the world, they have decided to start Christmas movies early. So we're at the beginning of November now, but Christmas movies have been going a couple of weeks ago already.
The people across the street from me have had their Christmas tree up for like 2 or 3 weeks already.
I know a bunch of people putting their Christmas trees up, like a lot. Considering what is going on in the world right now, I actually, for once, don't blame people. And I think that the Hallmark Channel is doing a service, because I know last week when it got a little extra stressful for apparent reasons, the election, I caught myself watching Hallmark movies myself.
Well, you know what's funny is going into doing this movie, I was dreading a little bit because I'm like, I don't know that I want to get into the Christmas thing yet. I don't like when all the Christmas stuff starts so early. I'm like, it's literally for one day. We're making all this fuss over one day, which if you are not a Christian person or a religious person is probably a day that you don't care that much about. But I will say that watching this movie, I was like, oh, okay. I like being transported right now.
Yeah, it's weird because I actually felt the same way. As boring as this movie was, I just kind of felt like I'm okay being in this world. It's so a safe place.
I have this friend who is Jewish, and he's Orthodox, and he teaches at an Orthodox Jewish high school. And yeah, if Christmas Day is during the week, they have school.
Wow.
They have classes. So it is interesting how, for this one day we go all out. But yeah, this movie, I have thoughts on this movie, but we'll get into it soon. But before we get into the movie, that was my text.
Is that heralding some Black China news from Kurt?
That's a Superman theme. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I could give you some Black China news.
Yes. Les, do you want to say it? Do you want to give Kurt his lead up?
Oh, yeah. Does anybody have any Black China news?
China. I have to have my China. And now, the Black China Report. Here's Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Okay, well, this is from Celebrity Insider. We're recording the show on November 11th, 2020. And yesterday was the birthday of Dream. Rob Kardashian was celebrating the birthday of his and Blac Chyna's baby girl, Dream Kardashian. We have, in order to mark this important event, Rob posted a photo on his social media account and also dropped a message for his little Dreamy. It says, happy birthday, my baby, 4 years old, with lots of D's and woohoo, lots of balloons. Someone exclaimed, happy birthday, Dream. She's so beautiful. And another follower posted this message, wow, 4 already? Time is flying. Happy birthday. And similar things. Many people flooded Rob's comment section showing love to his baby girl. Lots of fans are also expecting to see what Dream's mom will be posting to market this event as well. Maybe they meant to write mark the event, but with Blac Chyna, it could be marketing.
It could be marketing, yeah.
It could be marketing.
Now, in other recent news, Rob feels pretty proud of himself these days. Rob has apparently been taking active steps to maintain his weight loss and lose even more, as well as get toned, all for his and his daughter's sakes. A source recently told the online publication Hollywood Life, Rob feels better than ever and has worked really hard to lose the weight. It's something that doesn't happen overnight, and he's so proud of what he's accomplished. The person continued and said, now that Dream is 3 years old and she has so much energy and is always running around, Rob was determined to get to a healthy weight so he could keep up with her. He wanted to be able to be there for her and be the father she needs. Rob is definitely living his best life, and fans are here for this. I think, that's it.
So first of all, that wasn't a
Black China.
Yeah, that was not a Black China report. That was a Rob Kardashian report.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I mean, what was she wearing?
Well, it was Dream. It was related to Black China.
That's
Well,
wait.
You take it up with Google.
No matching mother-daughter outfits?
You take it up with Google, because I Googled Black China, and that's what came up.
If this report were a spinoff, that report would be Joni Loves Chachi, not Laverne and Shirley.
Right.
There were 3 stories about Dream's birthday. Actually, I thought I picked another one because there's the one that mentioned Tyga, because I was rehearsing the proper pronunciation because I used to say Tyga.
This is what I want out of a Dream birthday story.
Okay.
I want to know what Black China was wearing. I want to know if they have mother-daughter outfits. I want to know if there's dancing involved and a blinged out cake. And I want to know all of the money that Black China spent on Dream's gifts, which probably had to be like some kind of life-size doll or an outfit.
Well, I'm Black China, I'm not spending money on gifts. I'm getting sponsors to give them to me so that they get mentioned on my social media.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this other one.
I also thought it was funny that they said that, I don't know which story it was, but you mentioned that Rob was getting toned for his and his daughter's sake. And I'm like, I get the wanting to lose weight if you're around for your kid, but I don't get the he needs to be toned for her sake.
Well, this is the Kardashians we're talking
She
about.
can't love her dad unless he's ripped.
I'm trying to find some information here about Black China in this. Yeah. Oh, wait, was this her? Did she write something here? No, Kris Jenner wrote something up. She wrote something about her. We don't know. We don't know how Black China's reacting to this.
I'm legit worried about Black China. If all these stories are about Kardashians and not Black China, where is Black China?
I'm concerned.
Well, she's up to something, obviously. I'm sure we'll be finding out.
Maybe she's laying low so she can have like a Christmas reveal.
It's been a while for us. There's another article 2 weeks ago. Black China's lawsuit against the Kardashian family moves forward.
I think we talked about that, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, we hit that one. Okay. Well, that's what we got. Well, that's what you're getting this week, because that's what's in the news. It's Black China. It's the Black China world. Look, it's the extended universe of Black China. It's like Marvel.
Right. Oh. So in other news, in non-Black China news, but in Lori Loughlin news.
Do you want me to play the sound, or I have a and now it's time for a long overdue Loughlin report. Here's Les Kirkendall Barrett.
Lori has turned herself in. Lori is in the big house.
Hasn't she been in for a while?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've done that.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I don't think we talked about it.
We may not have talked about it, but she's definitely been in for a while, because there was this story last week about how she's really depressed in prison.
Is she?
Well, what is what is she supposed to be, like, frolicking around like, I left my mansion. This is awesome.
Remember that movie Wolf of Wall Street, where Leonardo DiCaprio goes in that prison and he's playing tennis and all that stuff?
Well, that's the thing. She's in a medium security prison. She's literally doing like Pilates and stuff.
Right. And you know what? I don't want to hear it from her because when Martha Stewart went to prison, Martha Stewart bossed it up and she turned that prison stint into a career opportunity.
She absolutely did.
Linked up with Snoop Dogg.
Not only did she write a cookbook about the different things that she did to cook in prison, including picking dandelion weeds from the yard and turning those into cheese sandwiches, she put the poncho back on the map.
What?
The poncho? What's the poncho?
Yes.
I know what a poncho is.
You remember?
Yeah.
When Martha Stewart left, because Martha, my girl Martha, went to jail and bossed it up and actually made friends in prison. And one of her prison friends, before she left, knitted her a poncho. So Martha's first photo op out of prison was her leaving the prison wearing a poncho.
Oh, I know what a poncho is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing a knit poncho. And I think that the woman, like, she got a bunch of orders, like something good happened to the woman.
Yeah.
Because of this poncho. And then the bonus is now that Martha Stewart was a G and she had street cred because she'd been in the big house, she and Snoop became fast friends. And it is a friendship that is happening to this day.
And what's a G? A gangsta?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you never heard that term, Kurt? That's been around since the 90s.
A G thing. Yeah, there's songs like a G thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm hip to that.
Martha went to prison. She thugged it out. And she came out of prison more famous than when she went in. Mm-hmm. So get it together, Lori.
Someone told me she freaks people out. Someone I know, they were working with Martha Stewart, and they said that she would like see people who were like getting married, like getting their engagement pictures or whatever, and she said Martha Stewart like sneak up behind them and say, "Hi, I'm Martha Stewart," and like frighten.
It's like Bill Murray does that. Bill Murray, like, doesn't Bill Murray just crash weddings?
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
And the thing is about Martha Stewart, too, Martha Stewart has that look that will just, like, make you wither away in, like, 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. I can see, I'm not afraid of many people. I would be afraid of Martha Stewart.
Speaking of celebrities who like to do that, this is kind of, I love David Lee Roth, you know, the lead singer of Van Halen. But there's a video online of him. He's at a hotel in Vegas, and he hears the people across the hall from him playing Van Halen. So him and this whole crew of people, like this camera crew, and someone's holding a microphone. They go over there. He's going to surprise these guys. They're having like a bachelor party. You know, I surprised them by saying, "Hey, it's David Lee Roth." Of course, the guy opens the door and goes, "I am David Lee Roth. I heard you're playing Van Halen." Like, these guys didn't know who he was. he's like, I am Van. And they're like, "Oh, we could turn the music down if you'd like." I said, "Oh, no, man. I love it. I am Van Halen." Like, okay. And so he walks away. They're like maybe like the late 20s or whatever. But these guys aren't going to know who David Lee Roth is.
Were they like, "You're not Sammy Hagar"?
I don't even know they know Sammy.
Or Gary Cherone. What was the third guy?
Yeah, Gary Cherone. Yeah, from Extreme. Are you Gary Cherone? And then Dave walks to the elevator with his crew, and he's like, "That was great, man. Yes, give it a bop and do it a bop." And then one of the guys comes out, and the guy comes out like, you know, he's like a minute late because he was probably like Googling him to see who he was.
Right.
And he's like, "Hey, sorry, Dave, we can turn the music down." He's, "Oh no, man, it's cool. I like it. It's great. Rock and roll." I love David Lee Roth.
There are people that are like massive David Lee Roth Van Halen fans, people that are massive Sammy Hagar Van Halen fans. Are there any like Gary Cherone ride or dies?
And, you know, I went down a Van Halen rabbit hole after Eddie Van Halen passed on, and I had never heard the Gary Cherone songs before, and it's a little odd seeing like him.
Because
singing.
FYI, I love Van Halen, but David Lee Roth Van Halen.
I like David Lee and Sammy Hagar Van Halen. Honestly, I like them both. They're both very different, though.
Yes. Right. No, I prefer the David Lee Roth. The "Running with the Devil." Ain't talking about love. That one.
Van Halen was like the second concert I went to. That I went to like in high school. Wow. Van Halen. I loved Van Halen. Jump.
No, I love it. Do you know in the Hot for Teacher video, the voice of Waldo in the beginning was Phil Hartman. It was Phil Hartman before he was on SNL.
Right. That was what, 1984. I wonder if he did the album cover, because Phil Hartman, before he was on TV, he made his living as an artist that would make album covers, and he did some pretty famous ones over the years.
Yeah, I think. I don't know which ones, so I shouldn't name any. our audience could look them up. But yeah, I remember hearing that he was an illustrator or something, or like a designer.
Actually, speaking of Phil Hartman, a couple of weeks ago for Halloween, I actually I watched this Halloween cartoon, Kiki's Delivery Service, where Phil Hartman was the voice of the cat.
What is this? What is this called again?
Kiki's Delivery Service, where it was about a witch who delivered groceries to people.
Is this a movie?
Yeah, well, it's a cartoon.
I've never heard of this.
No.
And Kirsten Dunst was the voice of Kiki, and Phil Hartman was the voice of her cat, Gigi, and Debbie Reynolds was like the voice of the old lady.
Wow, I missed this one.
So is this when this is obviously what, like early 90s? Probably like right after she did Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, because Phil Hartman passed away like in the early 90s.
He
right?
passed away in like 96 or 7, I want to say.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Because he got his start kind of late.
Yeah.
Kind of later in life.
As an actor, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Because didn't he go to the Groundlings like with Lisa Kudrow and that whole...
No, I think he was a little before that. He was there with Paul Rubens.
Oh, wow.
So it was a little before Lisa Kudrow, I think. Lisa Kudrow,
probably a couple years though. Probably not much because she started when Conan started.
Right.
Conan does a podcast called Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I've been listening to it a lot, and he had Lisa on, and she told the story of how they they were in their first improv class together. Mm-hmm. They took like intro to improv. For Groundlings, and it wasn't even at the Groundlings Theater. I think it might have been like at the Coronet Theater, which is where Conan's doing his show right now.
Really, the Coronet?
Yeah, that's where Conan's doing his show right now too.
Oh wow! I thought it was an intimate show then.
Okay. It is right now. They moved there during COVID. Mm-hmm. They're not on the studio lot right now.
Because I read Kathy Griffin's book, and Lisa Kudrow was the one that told her, you should focus on stand-up because you're way funnier as yourself than in improv. And that was one of the reasons how she ended up doing stand-up. Isn't that funny?
Lisa Kudrow was an episode of Newhart. She was one of the wives of Larry, Darryl, and Daryl.
Lisa Kudrow was my favorite character on Friends because I liked Phoebe Buffay.
Lisa Kudrow, when I was an extra on Friends, came over to wish me a happy birthday because somebody let her know that it was my birthday.
Aww.
Of course, Jason is the topper.
Well, I'm sorry. I was there. It was actually on my birthday, and I was on the show. So
he met Bobby Jones, RN, on General Hospital.
Oh, I did. Yes. I didn't have any lines on Friends, though. I was just an extra twice. I was just an extra.
Information. What was your role?
No, it was an extra. I didn't have any lines. I was in the background.
Well,
I was on 2 episodes. I was on. You can actually see me on season 2, episode 1, when Ross and Julie get off the plane and Rachel's there in the airport waiting for them. I'm in the background dressed as a limo driver. You see me when they on the screen it says producer or whatever, they're like one of those cards. I'm in the shot.
Well, we need that for Instagram.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
All right. I'll post
well, speaking of limo drivers, let's get into this movie.
Oh, let's do it.
Sunflower. I had to think about that segue for a second, but okay, I got it.
I
don't know. I'm just going along with it.
Royal Holiday. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I kind of liked about this movie is it reminded me of the beginning of The Nanny, where they had a little cartoon that explained the beginning of the movie. Because it showed the nanny it showed the cartoon of Anna, and then it showed her, Anna and Sarah, the 2 lead girls, and then it showed the British family or the royal family on the private jet flying over to the United States. So I kind of liked that.
It reminds me, even when they did it on The Nanny, and I never watched The Nanny, but I knew they had that opening sequence that always reminded me of Bewitched.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I like little cartoons in the beginning.
Where Samantha would fly and go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you knew it was on once it sped up. But,
That's right. Who was Paul Lynn on Bewitched? Uncle Arthur, right?
Uncle Arthur.
Yeah, that's right.
Hello, Stanley.
Paul Lynn Halloween special always makes the rounds.
My favorite one was where he turned the bunny into the Playboy bunny, and then they went on a date.
There's a story. I know we're getting off topic already, but there's a story. Bruce Valanche was a writer on the Paul Lynn Halloween special, and he said he was standing outside in the studio, like outside the studio lot, with Paul Lynn. Paul Lynn's dressed as a witch. He's got a big witch hat, and he's smoking a cigarette. And the guy from Roots walks by. What's his name? He's in Star Trek. What's
Edward
his name?
James Olmos?
LeVar Burton?
Yeah.
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton walks by, and Roots had just aired, and Paul Lynn just points at him and goes, "Roots."
There's like a B-52 song where what's his name? Fred Schneider from the B-52s just goes, "Pineapple."
Roots, pineapple.
One royal holiday.
You know that? Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. That Love Shack song, "Rusted."
Because they say tin roof rusted.
Oh, tin roof.
As
So
in the
tin
love,
roof
the Love Shack is like, hey, it's a dump, but like we're going there to have a fun
Right.
party.
rusted.
Where
Okay.
RuPaul is dancing before he was famous.
Oh,
Paul's in that video.
that's all right.
RuPaul, yes. RuPaul, when next time you watch the video,
Mm-hmm.
the big black girl with the blonde afro is RuPaul,
Oh my gosh.
who's prominently featured in that video.
Okay.
Man.
But you don't know unless you know, like,
Right.
you don't know unless someone tells you, but then when you go back and look at it, you're like, oh god, that's totally RuPaul.
I do like seeing obscure random roles or appearances of celebrities before they were famous. Like one of my favorite movies that most people don't know about is the movie Go from the late 90s. And it's got this ensemble cast, and a lot of them are still kind of famous, like Timothy Olyphant and Katie Holmes and stuff. But there's a small part. It's like a 5 and under scene, and the woman in the role is Melissa McCarthy, but it was before
Melissa.
she was famous.
Oh,
Yeah.
Melissa, who I know, who I've known for years.
What? Have her on the show.
Yes.
Why is she not on the podcast right now? She's got a movie coming out on HBO Max.
Oh, Les won't bring it up again now because he brought up some other famous person, and I said the same thing. Why is that person on the podcast? We'd never heard of her again.
Who?
I don't remember. I don't remember who it was. No, I don't remember.
Who?
I don't remember.
Oh, if I can get somebody on the podcast, I'll get. You know me, I'll get them
Now, work on Melissa.
if I can get them. Anywho,
All right. This is Pop Culture Thunderdome.
so I just found a picture of us together the other day. By the way, I'll send it to you guys.
Picture of who? Us?
No, me and Melissa,
Oh, okay.
like from years ago, from like the '90s.
Instagram. All right.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. So there's this woman frantically shopping, right? It's like right before Christmas. She's frantically shopping. We find out that she's going home for Christmas to her dad's inn.
Did you think that this woman was an asshole in this scene?
Who?
The main character, because she's in this store shopping. She goes in this Christmas store. She's got a zillion giant bags, so she's clearly been going around town spending a store, spending up a storm, and literally only buys a pencil in this store. She only had this one tiny little item.
The store did look kind of frantic, though.
I don't know why I found that funny. I just thought it was like she had all this stuff she could have bought in this store, and she's like, yeah, here we go. That's the last thing I needed.
What are you going to do with a pencil? I was looking all over town for a pencil.
So then we cut to an awards ceremony, and it's for a hospital, and we find out that the prince who's speaking is offering this award or this. It's
like a grant.
It was money.
Yeah, right? It was a grant. Yeah.
He's giving this hospital a grant because his father, King Maxwell, was at this hospital, and the hospital treated his dad very well. When he was alive. Yes, King Maxwell is no longer with us. So then we see the lady who turned out to be a nurse, Anna, in the hospital, and her other nurse friend is telling her how she needs a date. And then this patient comes up and gives Anna a gift because it turns out that Anna is very nice to her patients. Everybody loves her. Everybody in the hospital loves her because she's our Hallmark heroine. So that's how it always is. Then she comes home from her shift. She looks at a picture of her mom, who is also dead.
I see dead people.
And then we see a gift wrapping montage.
Oh, how exciting.
That flew by me. I didn't even notice there was a montage.
And then after the montage, and at the end of the montage, she fell. So I guess that was to show that she's wacky. She's crazy.
Her apartment was really big for living in the city and being a nurse.
Yeah. Well, nurses do make good money, though.
She can make some cash.
Yes, but I don't know. I was like, wow. At first, I thought the movie was in New York, so I thought it was really large. But then when I learned she was actually in Boston, I was like, maybe that would be okay. But she had like a full-size dining table, and she lived alone.
Yeah.
What city is she in?
Boston.
In Boston.
Oh, Boston. Okay.
But nurses do nurses do well because she wasn't it seemed like she'd been a nurse for a while. Like she was kind of middle management.
She was a cardiac nurse.
Yeah. So she probably did okay for herself.
Yeah.
So the next day, she's getting into her car to go driving, and she mentions, "Oh, I'm still sleepy. I need a cup of coffee," which ends up being very important. So then we cut to the prince and his mom, and they're in a limo. And so they're talking about his Christmas speech. We kind of gather that he did the Christmas speech last year and he kind of messed it up.
Biffed it.
So he was very nervous. So they're driving to the airport, and his mom says that she wants a cup of tea. And so the driver who's driving them, who's supposed to be a Bostonian driver, but his Boston accent wasn't all that great. He says, "We got to go to Donnie's Donuts." So they go to Donnie's Donuts, and Anna, our heroine, is already at Donnie's Donuts. And she orders her coffee, and it's buy one, get one free donut day. And so she doesn't want 2 donuts, and so the prince is behind her in line, and so she offers him one of her donuts.
Yeah. Free
and
cruller.
He says no.
Kurt would not turn that down.
No.
Oh, I'm very generous. I would give somebody.
No, I'm saying if somebody offered you a free cruller, you wouldn't say no.
Oh, I thought you said I wouldn't give away a donut. Yeah, no. If someone was offering one, I would allow them to be generous.
So he says no. Then she eats the donut and makes this obnoxious food noise. And
what's that? Because I don't like food noises.
Well, because she was like, ugh,
oh, what's that? It's hot.
Yeah, she made a you should try it noise.
Oh, yeah. Sounds manufactured.
And so
As
then
manufactured as your yawn in the earlier scene. Yeah, boy, am I tired.
Oh, you should try this donut.
And so then he looks at her and he says,
What's wrong with you?
I don't take food from strangers. And you know what? I don't blame him. I don't.
I don't
You
either.
never know where they're. You never know where
you're
their hands
catching.
have been.
You don't know what you're catching from this woman.
Right. Especially now. You got to be careful about that stuff.
She could be like Ariana Grande and lick that donut before she tried to give it to him.
Exactly.
Did she do that?
Kurt,
Yeah,
you
when-
didn't know about this?
Wait, she licks donuts and
This
uses
is
it?
like 4 or
This is a
5
huge
years
scandal.
ago when her like music career was really taking off. She was in some donut shop like east of LA, like out in the Inland Empire somewhere, and it was like 1 a.m, and like she kind of stuck out her tongue kind of jokingly, but I think she actually touched one of the donuts on the tray, and it blew up on the internet that she did this.
People went insane.
Yeah.
I think I did hear this, yeah.
Like, it was like people, like, she ended up having to, like, issue an apology or something.
Yeah.
She licked the donut and then somebody ate it.
Probably. She left it there.
Okay.
So then the woman introduces herself, and then the security guard, the hot security guard, Christopher, who I liked Christopher. Christopher comes in and says that there's a storm coming. Meanwhile, James, the prince, is telling Anna about Galwickian Yule cake and describes it. And he's like, you know what? That donut, I bet that donut isn't better than Galwickian Yule cake.
Like Gallic?
No, like
Like
the
Gaelic?
like the name of the
Gaelic?
country where the fake royalty was from.
I
Yeah,
thought
they're from Galway.
Galwick.
I thought they said Cool Whip the first time. The guy said he's the Prince of Cool Whip. It's like, no, it's like Galway.
And then this is the part of the movie where my husband, who's British, walks in the room and says, "Oh, you're watching one of those movies with the people with the bad British accents who are from like fake countries, right?"
You said, how dare you?
Oh, he gets very upset.
Huh?
The accents drive him crazy.
I like that it's the accents that bother him and not all the BS fake made up monarchy.
Well, that bugs him too. Like the name of the country always bugs him, and the accents bug him. And it bugs him that like this was one of the first movies where like the country wasn't Galwikia or Moldavia or Carpathia.
Carpathia.
So, but he just looked and then saw it and then gave me a look of disgust and turned around and left.
Does he feel like they're making a mockery of the monarchy?
No, the thing that bugs him is like he's like the accents are really bad.
Okay.
And then he was also like he's like, so they're supposed to be from like Northern Europe. Why do they have British accents? Which is
Yeah.
kind of true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is
So,
overthinking this Hallmark movie.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's true. So then Anna gives James the donut. And then his mom, the queen,
Sounds
comes
like a
in
euphemism.
and is like, "Oh, a donut," and she eats it.
It sounds like a euphemism.
I don't care if Andriana Grande lick this one. It's the tasty little morsel.
And Anna introduces herself to the queen, to his mom, who I liked his mom, actually. His mom turned out to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked her.
So then,
Yeah, she's all right.
So then James is like giving Anna shit, and he's like, "Do you know where Galwick is?" And as Anna's trying to guess, his mom, the queen's behind him, chowing down on the donut, like giving her clues.
Nodding. Yeah, so you're getting warmer, that kind of thing.
Behind his back. So then the driver comes in and is like, "The storm is coming. It's really bad. I'm not going to be able to take you to where you need to go." And then Anna is like, "Oh, well, you know what? You can stay at my dad's inn. My dad just happens to have an inn. You can stay there." And so she shows them pictures. They like the pictures. Then they bring the queen and the prince bring up the name of the driver, and the driver even gives it his vote of approval as well. But he's like, "But I'm not driving you there; it's too far." So then Anna offers to give them a ride in her car because she has no idea that they're royalty. And so then James decided that he didn't want her to know that they were royalty. And so they all pack in the car and they start driving to the inn. So they get there. Anna's telling them that, her best friend is the mayor. And then Jason, this is the part that you like. She tells them about the big event of the season, the Christmas pajama ball.
The pajama ball.
Yeah.
Because there's always
This reminds me of the opening of The Shining. Like these people are headed to the Overlook.
Right.
All right. Okay, back to the pajama ball. What happens to the pajama ball?
I was
They wear
upset
pajamas.
because I was excited about the idea of a pajama ball. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. That's like a new thing that we haven't seen in the Hallmark movies before. That's going to be fun, and we don't even get it.
No.
No. And then the prince shades her for it. The prince is like, a pajama ball? What kind of bumpkin are you? And then the queen is like, oh, I think it sounds like fun.
Yeah, the prince is
Well,
kind of a dick.
You better wear responsible underwear underneath your pajama bottoms to avoid slippage.
True. Or 2 pairs.
Thank you.
underwear.
Yeah, I would.
So then,
I'd be bulked up.
so they get to the inn. Her dad comes out. Hot Christopher, the security guard, because Anna goes into the house for a second. Hot Christopher, the security guard, introduces them as prince and queen, but they tell her dad to keep it low key. And so, so Anna comes back and the dad's acting really weird. And then the dad ends up saying, okay, the prince is like, well, you might as well just tell her.
No, the queen said that. She's like, she's going to figure it out.
So then the queen, the dad tells Anna. Anna starts laughing. She realizes that the dad's not kidding. But then they're like, don't tell anybody, though, because our security, we only have Hot Christopher. We normally have like a whole entourage of security, so don't tell him, just for our safety. And so then
I want to poke holes in the concept of them not having their security, by the way. Oh, you guys froze up. Hello? Oh,
hello?
Maybe the security got you guys. Oh, there you are. So I was saying I want to poke holes in the concept of them not having their security, because supposedly they sent their security ahead of them and they took an earlier flight. Like, what kind of security is like, the people we're protecting, they're not on the same flight with us. Let's just go.
Right. And did you ever hear the story? I'm not sure if it's true or not, but the story that, like, for the royal family of the UK, for example, they're not allowed to all be on the same flight.
I have not heard that, but that wouldn't surprise me. Similar to like how you can't have the president and vice president flying together, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Because you don't want a King Ralph situation, where everybody with the whole family died. They were electrocuted, I believe. Someone tries to take a picture of them all, and then John Goodman as King Ralph is now the king.
Right. Yeah, you don't want that.
I like that you said with genuine earnestness, you don't want a King Ralph situation.
You don't want a King Ralph situation. I'm glad you liked it, because I definitely was hoping that would make an impact. Yeah, sometimes I'm grasping for straws. Yeah. Okay.
So then they're getting settled in. James is being really snotty. He's asking for like where's the staff? Where's the room service? But it's a little inn, so they don't have any of that.
Yeah, they wanted a pillow menu.
Right.
Where do you get a pillow menu?
Right. And so they're like, nope, sorry. So then they're doing this. So then Anna's best friend, Sarah, shows up. And Sarah's the mayor. Mm-hmm. And I wrote here a note. Sarah is me.
Oh, because she was Sarah. Immediately googly-eyed for Christopher?
That, first of all. And then, because nobody knew that they were royalty because they're royalty from a tiny country. But Sarah shows up and Sarah's like, oh my God, that's the king and queen. That's the prince and queen of blah, 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 blah. And like Shelley knew who they were.
Mm-hmm. She knew.
And I'm like, that's me. That would be me.
You know all the obscure royalty?
Yeah. So then Sarah then tells them about the week of events that's going to happen because it's Christmas season and the town has an event. What they even named it.
Yeah, and it was a stupid plot. It wasn't even a plot point, but they tried to make a thing of like, oh, we're doing all of these events, and as the mayor, one of her biggest accomplishments was thinking to promote all of these events together as one long week, as opposed to individual Christmas events.
Right. So then Anna is like, okay, Sarah, you recognize them, but you just got to keep it quiet because of the security. And Sarah's like, cool, because I'm a mayor, so I know about this stuff. So then hot Christopher, the security guard, walks out and he looks at Sarah and he is down with the swirl.
Yeah.
Because
Aren't we all? Yeah, I wrote Prince Christopher is aroused. I underlined the word aroused.
Because his voice even went high, like to a higher octave. Like, hi.
Oh, higher, yeah.
Yeah. And I wrote here, Christopher's way hotter than the prince anyway.
Yeah, I agree. The
prince can get it.
And I don't mind longer hair on guys, but I felt like the prince's hair was a little too long to be believable.
It was
as
a mullet.
prince. Yeah, it was a little long and like kind of purposefully unruly, which isn't really a princely look.
No, yeah, it was very like mullety. Like he had COVID hair basically. You know your friends who haven't had a haircut in a while.
Yeah, that was me last week. I finally got one.
So then Christopher was even more impressed when he found out that Sarah was the mayor. He's like, oh, you're the mayor?
Power couple.
Right? So then how of course,
bad would... By the way, I saw that we have we're going to have a second gentleman. And I thought,
yes, don't you love that?
Les would love to be the second gentleman.
I have a feeling, by the way, that Doug is going to be the breakout star of this next 4 years.
I can see that.
I think that Doug is going to be like America's sweetheart.
He does sort of, like, I've never actually heard him speak, but every photo I've seen or any video I've seen with him and Vice President-elect Harris, he always looks so jovial. He just looks like he's always happy.
Well, what a gig. I mean, would that be great on the second gentleman?
And they haven't even been married all that long.
No, married in 2014, I think.
Yeah. So he, like, scored, man. He's like, that's like the jackpot.
He's won.
Weren't they introduced to each other by that director, Reginald Hudlin?
Yeah. They met, and it was a blind date.
Director of House Party. No.
Yeah, and like Boomerang.
Boomerang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. I bet he's getting like a fruit basket or something.
He deserves it. Yeah, something. It's getting some favor. But Second Gentleman, that's great. Like, because First Gentleman, you'd be kind of scrutinized, but Second Gentleman, you could just sit back and you're just a laid back male Merlin Quail. You're just hanging out.
Well, I'm thinking though.
Your pumpkin seeds and.
I'm thinking though. This has never been said, but I'm thinking if it goes to plan, he might be our first gentleman someday.
Possible for sure.
It's different plans, though. We're hoping the right one goes through.
We've never had a second gentleman before. We've never had a first gentleman before.
We've never had a Madam President.
Right.
That's right.
But yeah, I have a feeling that Doug is going to be America's darling.
Well, good. We need some.
Anyway,
here we go. Yeah.
Anyway, so then they're singing Christmas carols in their Christmas Carol costumes. Why they're all in costume, I never understand that. Why?
This reminds me of Dickens Day. There's a town in Pennsylvania, Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. They have a Dickens Day. People dress like it's Charles Dickens Day. So that's kind of like what this reminded me of.
I've never understood the whole carolers dressing up in holiday movies to look like Dickens characters.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's show business.
I guess.
It's just show business. You dress up. Yes. Even me in my sketches, I wore a tux. I was like, I don't have to wear a tux, but I will because it's show business. Damn it.
Show business.
So we got to do it sometimes.
So
I mean, look, you're talking to a person that literally owns like 6 adult onesies, so I shouldn't be making fun of people dressing up in costume, but still.
Oh, did you catch I have an adult onesie.
What's that, Kurt?
Onesie. Oh no! Did you like my impassioned speech? That was show business. It was like a court scene.
That was
seeing like a Sidney Lumet movie, or
it was your Norma Ray moment.
What?
Your Norma Ray moment.
Yes, that's right. That's my dramatic speech that I give. It's all show business.
Union.
That's acting.
So while they're singing, Hot Christopher is eyeing Sarah up as the carolers are singing.
Mm-hmm.
And so then
somebody made lobster mac and cheese in this.
Yeah.
That sounds disgusting. I don't want that.
No, it's good. It's really good. Yeah,
I don't like
very, very good.
lobster. I like seafood. So
it's good because lobster mac and cheese is good.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not a fan of putting things in mac and cheese that aren't mac or cheese, but I love lobster mac and cheese.
Oh, and then it was funny because then at dinner, because basically they were having just it's an inn, so it was kind of like a dinner situation where everybody ate dinner together. And I like that the queen is like, oh no, we're gonna eat with everybody as well. And the queen even started dressing down. She brought like clothes to dress down in, and so she's like piling her plate at the buffet, and Anna's father looks at her and says, "The queen can eat," because she like piled her plate full of food and lobster mac and cheese. She liked it too.
I like the explanation that they gave for the queen being okay with all this. She basically said like, "Hey, I was a regular person before I married the king, and I didn't even know I had this royal bloodline. So I know how to do things on my own. I just haven't had to for a long time."
They're setting that up for a prequel.
Yeah,
that's good.
Prequel.
I could see. Let's see how to describe this. I could see like Queen Elizabeth acting like this. Like, she knows what to do for a few reasons. I think she seems kind of grounded like this. And also she would have the skill of being able to fit in with other people, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Anyway.
So then Anna is talking to James, and Anna's like, James, you need to chill out and learn how to talk to regular people because you're a little too much. You need to dial it down. So then James gets a phone call, and it sounds like that there were problems back in Galwick, and basically his government, or like the government wants to get rid of the monarchy. And as I was watching it, I thought, oh, art imitating life. So then James is really bummed out because of the problems going on back home. Meanwhile, the Queen enjoyed the meal so much that she's like, well, I want to go back and thank the chef for the food, because the food was awesome.
Diane.
So Diane.
A little ditty.
So then the Queen picks up vibes between Diane and Anna's father. And she's like, how long have you two been a couple? And they're like, no, we're not a couple. We're just friends. Mm-hmm. And the Queen just kind of gives them a look like, well, you will be by the end of this movie. So get ready.
So get stocked up on rubbers.
That'd be so funny if the Queen just hands them out like the royal rubber.
Right? Just like I said, I was a normal girl.
Yeah.
I never
Use
stopped.
the royal rubber.
So then Anna does something really nice because James is so stressed out. He didn't have dinner, but she brings some dinner to his room and knocks on his door and runs away. And he sees that she brought him dinner. Oh, and then we open the door. He was eating like Christmas popcorn.
Yeah, he's carrying. He got this tub of popcorn like early. Oh no, Anna got the popcorn, didn't she?
She got the popcorn.
She got the popcorn at the hospital, and so he's holding it in the car on the way there and spilling it, and then he's eating it in the room. I was like, how did he end up with the popcorn?
You know what though? I'm not gonna lie. I love those tubs of the Christmas popcorn.
Oh yeah, you get like caramel and
cheese, the cheesy one.
Yeah, that orange one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love those. Okay. So the next day, James and the Queen are like going to check out, but then we find out that a storm hit during the night and they're snowed in and trapped there. James isn't happy about it, but then he actually attempts to make a joke. And Anna's like, oh, you made a little joke. Look at you.
Yeah, but the joke's weird. They say it's a New England weather. You wait, you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. That's the joke they'd say in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in Texas as well?
Yeah. New England, you wait 5 minutes, it's changed. Really? Doesn't seem like it in this movie.
Well, the Queen. Oh, so they're stuck there. The Queen actually is not mad about it. She's kind of actually enjoying the fact that they're going to be stuck there.
She's delighted.
Sorry, I banged my headphones into the microphone. I apologize to anyone listening.
How dare you?
So then they decide, well, since we're stuck, why don't we all go to the Christmas parade?
Did you understand the logic behind this? They just had this massive snowstorm where like they can't plow out the inn, but they somehow managed to plow Main Street, and everyone in town is like, yeah, we'll all just walk through this horrible snowstorm to get to this parade and sit outside some more.
I did not get the logic of that, and I also did not get the logic of, well, wait a minute, Anna, your best friend is the mayor of the town. And you could pick up the phone, the mayor of the town who knew that royalty were staying at the inn. So you could pick up and say, hey, Sarah, you know what? They need to get going. Can you like pull a couple of strings so that we can get them out?
Oh, you think she's
Since they are royalty.
Power. Well, clearly they had the resources to plow the back roads and not the highways.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
As for this mayor, I don't know if she has as much power as we think.
No, I don't think she does. She has a very divided city council.
I wonder who she ran against. I wonder was it a close election? I'd like to see the debates. Well, I will be having Christmas Day, and on my Christmas Day, people will be wearing costumes.
and she's on the younger side too.
Yeah.
So I bet it was like some old
Some old white dude.
Because she's like a younger black lady. So what was she, like late 20s, early 30s?
Early 30s, yeah.
So she's like she's like this younger black lady. So she's like, I could bring some freshness to this town. So
She does.
Oh, so then they're heading to the parade. James is still nervous about his speech. She's wearing some shoes, and Anna's like, listen, you better go change your shoes because those aren't gonna hold up. And he, of course, is like, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna wear these shoes because I want to. Leave me alone. So, and so then all of a sudden, this is a storyline. I'm wondering if there was a scene that was cut out of the beginning of the movie. Because all of a sudden, people started asking her, is this your boyfriend? And there was a whole thing with people who were like, oh, that's the boyfriend that we've heard about.
Yeah, there was a lot of references to this ex-boyfriend we've never met, and we don't really find out why Anna ended things with her. I'm sure that was at one point in a script. There were a few things in this movie where I was like, they've definitely done rewrites on this.
So I'm wondering if the beginning of the movie originally was supposed to be she got dumped at Christmas time, and that's one of the reasons why she decided to go home to the inn.
Oh, yeah, because that does happen sometimes in these movies.
Oh, yeah. And I bet the boyfriend was probably a doctor at the hospital.
Oh, no.
Because that always happens, too. Because remember, Anna, she was, a Hallmark heroine, so she was very busy and into her job. Because then, all of a sudden, there's a woman selling cocoa on the street, and was like, oh, this must be the boyfriend. And just, random people brought it up. So, this totally was a rewrite.
Busybodies.
So then it was kind of cool because then Hot Christopher introduces Sarah to the Queen, and the Queen was like, "Oh, you're the mayor. We need more women. We need more women in charge," which was kind of cool. And so then Sarah was telling Anna how, oh God, I'm into Hot Christopher. And Anna tells Sarah, you better be careful because it's long distance and long distance doesn't work. So I'm also thinking maybe at the beginning of this movie originally, it was a boyfriend. She and the boyfriend were having a long distance relationship and he dumped her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or she dumped him. Maybe she
Right,
found
he
he
was
was
very adamant
Yeah.
about, she was very adamant about her not getting into this long distance relationship.
Or she's just a Debbie Downer.
So then they go to the parade.
They were
having fun at the
they were
parade.
dragging gifts to the parade in actual sleighs. Like they had actual sleighs on the ground. They were dragging gifts along too.
Dragging gifts along on a rope? I don't remember that.
Yeah, they totally. I remember that.
And they're just like they're just clunking along on the road. I saw this like a week or so ago.
Yeah. And then, and so then Sarah, because she was the mayor, was in the parade. And then, of course, Hot Christopher's like, oh, Sarah, you did great. Your waving was great. So then James steps in a puddle. And Anna's like, see, idiot, I told you to wear different shoes. And so then, because everybody else goes walking ahead of them, heading back to the inn, which I thought, okay, so as a security guard, Prince, you're going to let your security guard walk off from you holding hands with his girlfriend and leave you back there? Okay. So then Anna gets the carriage to take James home because he had wet feet, and he was like, well, I don't want to do it alone, so why don't you come with me? So then we have our obligatory Hallmark carriage scene.
And he lifts her up into the carriage without warning her that he's going to do it, which is a little bit aggressive, in my opinion.
Yes. You're supposed to ask first.
May I lift you?
But then in the carriage, they had a moment. They gave each other longing looks. And then James is talking to Anna, and he's like, well, you really like to help people. And Anna brought up a very good, astute psychological reason. And she was like, well, I like to help people because then I don't focus on myself and what's going on in my life. I focus on, so basically she's in denial about her own life and focuses on people more as a way to get to, to not focus on, to not focus on her own life. Which I was like, oh, you've been to therapy, Sarah, or Anna.
That's a good idea.
Therapy. So then the prince explains to Anna the reason why he felt that he bombed is because his people posted his speech on the internet and he read the comments.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't Google yourself.
Don't ever read the comments. Ever.
I don't have Google Alert. Some people have Google Alert for their name.
No, I stopped that. I'll read it. Okay, I'll read it if someone comes up and says, oh my God, that was a fantastic review of your show. Then I'll go and read it if I know it's good. But if it's if I don't know it's good, I won't read it.
That's fair.
The worst is when you're avoiding all reviews and someone walks up to you and says, hey, that review, that was bullshit. It's like, oh, great.
That happened.
Oh, was it? Great. Yeah.
It's like, okay, idiots, just don't say anything. Pretend like you didn't see it until the person brings it up. And then you go, oh, yeah, that sucked, when you've actually really read it. Oh, okay, so then Anna is telling James, well, James, you're really uptight. Why don't you just show your more human side? Because you're actually not a bad person. You need to show people that. So then they get back to the inn. Sarah and Christopher are giving them shit because they're like, you couldn't walk. And James is like, well, I had a shoe malfunction. And then we find out that James and Christopher were actually best friends in high school. So,
yeah, I don't know why they revealed that detail because they never really came back to it.
No. And they didn't seem like they were, they didn't seem like they were buddies. Like, they definitely seemed like they were employee boss.
Yeah, I think maybe they just used that line of dialogue to explain the more casual relationship that James and Christopher had with each other.
Right.
Well, it supplies some background.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't hurt.
Because he wasn't a mean boss to Christopher, but then they definitely seemed like boss and employee more than,
I thought it was interesting because it's kind of like there's a status thing. And it's like, like Christopher was in a way, Christopher was kind of lucky to become friends with the prince because now he's got, opportunities here, opportunity to work in security.
It was no Princess Diaries relationship. Because remember in the Princess Diaries?
I do not.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about the second.
You've never seen the Princess Diaries?
No, I have not seen it either.
Neither one of you?
No, it looked terrible.
No, and I don't plan to.
How dare the both of you?
No, I'm good.
I'm not saying it.
How dare the both of you?
I'll tell you what. I just saw Bonnie and Clyde a few days ago for the first time ever.
Which one? The Faye Dunaway one?
Yeah, there's only one as far as I know.
No, there's more than one. But the Faye Dunaway one is the class. The Faye Dunaway.
Well, I only know of one. That's the one I saw.
One.
Have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh God, yeah.
I have not.
You said what's that, Jason? You said no.
I have not seen it, but I would watch that. I just have no desire to see Princess Diaries.
No, Princess Diaries. I think there's a sequel to
Yes,
Princess
I
Diaries,
saw
but-
it.
Well, I'm not
Eyes of
saying
Princess
that either.
Diaries and Princess Diaries 2, with
Nah.
Raven-Symoné as the African princess.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
They lived in Genovia. Anyway. Well, basically, if you've seen a royal Hallmark movie, you've pretty much seen the Princess Diaries. Yeah. Very good makeover montage in the Princess Diaries, though.
No.
And as we learned a few weeks ago, if you've seen Baby Boom, you've seen any Hallmark movie.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that I've seen.
Oh, okay. So then Anna is trying to harass James into wearing fuzzy Christmas socks, which he refused to do, and then they never brought that up again either.
No, they brought that back.
Oh, they did. They brought the fuzzy Christmas socks back.
Yeah. But we found out that there was some sort of hole in the building where they were going to have the pajama ball. So now they're scrambling to find a new venue.
Yes,
and they have a giant space in their hotel.
Why did a little bed and breakfast have a gigantic ballroom?
I don't know. And then they're like, what else are they using it for? And then it takes them so long to figure this out.
It really was like this giant light bulb came in like, oh, didn't think of the fact that we have a space to do this in.
Oh, that's right. I just didn't remember because we rarely use it.
Yeah. We only have like 5 guests at a time. Why we have this ballroom that seats 300 people? I don't know.
And the place looked packed and very crowded anyway. It really did. Like even when they showed like their dinner room scene, it didn't look like they had a lot of space.
No. The bed and breakfast.
So then, they had the obligatory Christmas tree trimming scene and the singing and all that. And then
it's a bed and breakfast Superdome.
Right. So then William brings up, James brings up the thing about why don't we have a ball? And then whose idea was it? We can have a ball for the adults and a pajama party for the kids. Whose idea was that?
I think maybe either the Queen or Diane. I think maybe Diane.
And then Anna was like, no, because she was part of the reason why she wanted to she liked having the pajama party was because that was her mom's thing. And now that her mom's dead, this is a way for her to remember her mom. I see dead people. But then we find out from Anna's dad that it originally was a ball, but Anna was such a brat as a kid that her mother changed it to the pajama party because she had to deal with her.
Which is a contradiction of something earlier established in the movie, that this is the 75th annual pajama ball.
Right. Well,
so unless Anna is pushing 80,
right.
I don't think that is true.
Unless they're vampires.
Amazing skin cream.
Because she looks like she's 30 to me.
Yeah.
Then again, how old was the dad?
Probably over 100.
Wow. Oh well, it's a demographic.
Oh, so then James picks the lights for the tree, and he picks the colors of Galwick's flag. So then later, Anna catches James.
He's trying too hard.
Anna catches James raiding the fridge, and she looks at his sleeping attire and says that he looks like Captain Von Trapp. And she's bummed because he has too many pajamas on. She'd like him to be a little more scantily clad.
It's a little weird, the Sound of Music, when they're hiding from the Nazis and one of the kids still wants to sing. He's, should we sing my favorite things?
No.
Shut the fuck up, the Nazis are here.
Another Julie Andrews movie I have never seen and have no desire to see. No desire to see it whatsoever.
You have never seen The Sound of Music?
No, I hate every single song I've ever heard from that movie, so I've avoided it my entire life.
Dear. One point in the movie, she says, God bless Kurt.
Oh my God, even Kurt's seen Sound of Music.
Well, I've seen every movie that's won Best Picture because I did a show about that once. So I have seen The Sound of Music. And I think I saw
every
it
Julie
before
Andrews
that, too.
movie. I even saw the one where she like exposed her boobs.
That was S.O.B.
Mary Poppins.
It was Mary Poppins.
They're popping out.
Mary popping out. Oh, that's a good
Victor
porn
Victoria,
name.
one of my favorites.
And then she was. Did you see her in the Broadway show, Victor Victoria?
Oh wait, that's right. No, Jason, you would doubly hate Victor Victoria because not only is it about Julie Andrews, it's about drag queens. You would really.
I don't mind a narrative. I don't mind the concept of drag queens or narrative about drag queens. I hate bad drag, which is what most drag is, in my opinion.
Well, this is like 1930s drag.
That was probably good.
And Leslie Ann Warren was very good in that movie.
Yeah, that was at a point. There was some Hollywood was going through a rough sort of like a pre-transgender period. They had Victor Victoria, they had Yentl, Tootsie.
That's right.
All these movies
You
kind
would
of came
not-
out at the same time.
You would not be able to make any of those movies today, or you would, but you would not. You would not be able to cast those movies the way that they were cast today.
It was right
Maybe.
around the time of
I guess
Bosom
so.
Buddies as well.
Well,
Yeah,
I would personally love to see a remake of Tootsie with Laverne Cox.
Interesting.
Or actually, she couldn't be in Tootsie. But I would love to see.
Well, sure she could. She could. Because her brother, remember her? Well, I don't know if her brother can act, but her brother was in
Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, as
and
like
played her
Yeah.
as before she transitioned.
yeah. But they didn't give him. He didn't need to do much in that show. I don't know if he could pull that off. That movie would take skill to do. You could do it again. It's not going to be the same.
Jason, have you seen Tootsie?
Yes, in the theater.
I
Yeah.
would like that. Would be good though. I would love that though. Laverne Cox in Tootsie.
All right,
She could do
let's
them all.
discuss this later.
Okay, keep going, yeah.
We're way off the rails.
Because I'm an actress. Anyway, so then, where were we?
We were talking about Laverne Cox being into. No, okay, go ahead.
So then,
They're talking about mixing the pajama ball with the actual like regular ball.
right, which everybody was actually like, "Oh my gosh, that's a great idea."
Oh, we did that, and then James getting the snack.
They're drinking cocoa, and they're sitting in the lounge chair drinking cocoa, talking about the ball. She admits that the real reason why she does not want the pajama party to go to waste because that's like the last way that she can feel close to her mom. Then the next day, then James says it's goodbyes because they're supposed to be leaving the next day. But then they're supposed to leave, but then the trees have fallen down, so they're still stuck there.
Oh, by the way, when they were James and Anna were like in the attic pulling down decorations to plan the ball. Anna offers to help James with his speech. And that's becoming a running theme in Hallmark movies where the guy has to make some speech and doesn't know how to do it. And the woman comes along to help him with his speech.
Right.
Do you think that is the writers of these movies when they have other writers come in to like polish the script to make them more Hallmarky? Do you think that's their passive aggressive way of saying like, oh, I guess you feel like I need help with my script here?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good point.
Like I needed a ghostwriter. Okay. Okay. So then Anna's giving him tips about how to make Christmas in Galwick more fun. Like she's like, you should have a gingerbread contest. And then she thanks James for his advice because it's actually like good advice. Then James makes a joke. It still wasn't funny, but he made one.
What was it this time?
I forget what it was. I just wrote James made a joke.
Okay.
So then they decide that they're going to go into town, and James dresses down. And he not only wears like a sweater and some flannel, he wears boots.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
he borrowed the boots from Hot Christopher.
You got the sweater from him, too.
Christopher's a considerably larger frame than James.
Yeah.
I don't know how all that stuff fit James.
It's probably like that movie, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, where like they put on the pants and the pants don't fit.
Well, never saw that.
Haven't seen that one either.
I have. And there's sequels.
Well, you've seen it, so we don't have to.
That should be our slogan of the entire podcast. We've seen it, so you don't have to.
So then they start having like a little snowball baseball game, which seemed weird to me. And then we talk about, then Anna tells James about how it's stressful to be a nurse, but it's rewarding as well. And she says something, James says something. Well, who says we can, they're part of the family? Oh, Anna says something about like people are like part of the family, like her patients. And Anna was like, well, James, you should use that. You know, you should say we consider our constituents part of our family for our country. And then James says something else, and then Anna is like, well, you know, when you're writing your speech, you should make it come from the heart. And people are very happy because there's going to be a ball. And they're all like running around, buying dresses. Then there's a room decorating montage. Then James says, well, you know, if you're going to have a ball, you might as well have a live orchestra. Mm-hmm. And then Anna admits that she doesn't know how to waltz. And so then James teaches her how to waltz. And then
Dad cock-blocked him.
Yes, Dad cock-blocked her.
He walks right in on them.
Yeah.
Yes. And then
Thanks, Dad.
Then gives Anna like a bunch of dresses, like her mom's old ball gowns.
Yeah, he basically tells her it's okay to want the D.
Right. He's like, no, girl, go.
Get on that.
he's like, it's okay, girl, go for it. So
I got these rubbers the Queen gave me. Right? And I know I'm not going to use them all.
I got royal rubbers.
They're stamped.
At the tip, it's got the royal family crest.
Right. So then the Queen is talking to James about his dad. And the Queen's like, you know, James, you're really uptight. You need to chill out more. Because the one thing that your father said that he wished that he would have spent more time with his family. And then we find out Anna and James are talking, and we find out that the king was actually at the hospital where Anna worked. Then they think that Anna may have even helped his dad, but she wasn't, like, she couldn't place it. Oh, his dad was under an assumed name, so she wasn't sure if she helped his dad or not, but she thought that it sounded kind of familiar. So then there's like a little gift exchangey thing going on. Anna gives James a gingerbread ornament, and I wrote probably from Hallmark.
Well, it's an ornament of the inn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could probably find that ornament on Hallmark.com or wherever they sell their ornaments.
Might be up for some ornaments.
So then the Queen makes a Galwickian Yule cake. And they all eat it, and it sounds like it's actually pretty good. And so then I like this part because they realize that they need to stay an extra day, and then Sarah tells Anna, Hot Christopher and I did a security sweep, in quotes.
I liked
Ooh.
the scene where they found out they had to stay another day. I actually really enjoyed that scene. It was a cute little moment in the movie of the dad and was it the queen? Or no, the dad and James are like, oh, there's black ice. Yeah, there's black ice. And like they're happy about it. And then the queen kind of rushes down the stairs. Oh, is there black ice? Do we have to stay another day? And Christopher's like, oh, I guess we have to stay. And they were all happy about it. I really enjoyed it.
Right.
They don't want to go.
So then after Sarah tells Anna that Christopher and I did a sweep,
What
in
does that
quotes,
mean?
of the town,
That
Anna's
sounds
like,
dirty.
listen, girl, you need to be careful because he's leaving, and so you need to watch it because he's going back to his country. You're going to be heartbroken. And then Sarah tells Anna, you need to just shut up and go for James and chill.
You know what else she said? She said, the heart wants what the heart wants. Like Woody Allen said of Sun Yi.
Ew.
Don't they know that, the people who wrote this movie? There's a line she said, the heart wants what the heart wants. That was Woody Allen's line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ugh.
Well, maybe they're younger, and so they don't know.
Maybe it was someone else's line before that. It probably was.
Well, I'm
Probably
sure it
from-
was. Yeah.
Yeah, Woody knows all that old literature and stuff like that. It's probably from some old book.
Oh, so then they go to the candlelight sing-along, and James is giving Anna, like, the look, the Hallmark dude look, like, okay, I'm ready to jump your bones. And then they start singing and lighting candles.
Yeah, they're about James and Sarah both, and Anna are both about to admit their feelings for each other, and then Sarah cock blocks them by breaking out into "Joy Meets the World" really loud.
Right.
It's a unique way to cock block someone.
It really
Thanks,
was.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Well played.
Thanks.
Joy to the world.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So then the next day, or was it that night, James gets a text, and it turns out that there's a picture of James and Anna that went viral. And his country is pissed because they're saying that James chose to be in the U.S. and have fun rather than go to Galwick, which Christmas in Galwick sounded pretty goddamn boring anyway. So I could blame him. But
Well, it
he was in
also kind of
trouble.
makes you wonder about like what the socioeconomic conditions are in Galwick, that the people are so upset that how dare he be enjoying himself around the holidays
Right,
when we're here
exactly.
suffering in this hellscape.
How dare you have fun? How dare you
Yeah.
smile? What is this? So Anna was getting ready to, like, you know, confess her love to him, and he was getting ready to tell her that he loved her as well. And then after this, Anna's like, you know what, James, you just need to go. And yeah, she's like, you just need to go. And then James is like, well, what? Because he knew that she had something to tell him. And she was just like, no, just go. And then she started acting pissy to him. Which is
Self-cock block.
Yeah, because it's like he didn't do anything. He was upset. Like, he had a reason to be upset. And even though he wasn't upset, he wasn't being jerky about it at all.
Right.
So then she's like, no, you just need to get back to your country. And so then the next day, this next scene was kind of sad, because then the next day they're like, her dad's like, oh, we had snow again. And so James like rushes to the door to see that they're snowed in, and he looks and sees that no, they weren't snowed in. That the dad had meant to say, well, we were snowed in, but we figured out a way to get you out.
Yeah.
So then the queen goes to Anna, because they're leaving. Anna's up in her room. I still don't get why Anna was like acting like she was mad at him. Because she's up in her room moping. She's watching them load the car. And then the queen goes up to say goodbye to Anna. And she's like, okay, I don't know what happened, but you'll always be a part of our family. We always like you. Oh, and by the way, I left something for Diana on my bed for the ball. So give it to her after I leave. So then,
it's a brick of cocaine.
Right. So then Sarah,
the movie took a turn.
Then Anna's sad, and then Sarah's like, well, I'm not sad because I already have my plane tickets to go to Galwick for New Year's Eve. I'm sad.
She says, I'm getting the D from the
Right.
G.
I'm getting the Galwick D from Hot Christopher. And so then the Queen left Diane a dress.
Is there money in it?
And then there's like the dress, and Diane's like, I can't wear this, and Anna's like, you need to wear this. Oh, and I guess Diane normally like cooks during the event, and Anna's like, no, you need to go as a guest, and you need to wear this dress, and my dad will be very disappointed if you don't come.
Would it be, because we don't see the dress like when Diane opens it? Wouldn't it be funny if the dress were from the Queen's like younger being married to the king days? So it's like for the early 80s, and it's just like a slutty club dress. It's like really low cut and like really short skirt.
Right. With the puffy shoulders.
Yeah.
She's dressed like Madonna in the Lucky Star video.
Yeah, but like, you know, she wants like 60-something very kind of like Midwestern looking Diane to rock this thing now.
And then Diane comes out with like big hair.
Yeah, like huge and like just like trashy makeup.
Oh, so the prince made it home. I actually liked this castle that they had.
I thought it looked kind of scary.
They made it to the castle. The Queen was then like, listen, James, you know what? You need to chill because this trip was actually good for you. And the Queen's like, I had fun. Like I enjoyed myself. And then she was like, listen, dude, falling in love is more important than your crown. So get it together, son. So they, so then James actually finds his dad's last speech, and James realizes that the speech the dad was actually talking about Anna. And so then, Anna, meanwhile, back in her town, back at the inn, her dad walks in. Anna looks good. Diane walks in. The dress actually is fabulous. The dress actually looks good.
Yeah. I like that the dad was struggling with his tie, and Anna's like, oh, you should have Diane help you with your tie. Now, keep in mind, this is not a normal, like a bow tie that you have to tie. It was literally one of those bow ties that's like pre-clipped, so you just like clip it in.
Clip it on.
Yeah, it's got a little hook.
Yeah. Which then tells us that the dad is a moron.
Right, exactly.
Well, he's, suffering from some brain damage or something. I don't know. Some sort of deterioration. I don't want to put a diagnosis on it. I'm just saying there's some kind of deterioration.
Diagnosis moron. That's the diagnosis.
Diagnosis moron.
Oh, so they're at the ball. Anna's looking at James's speech on the phone. She's looking on her phone.
Mm-hmm.
James then starts talking about her in the speech. And then the next thing we know, it's good to have a private jet, because then all of a sudden Anna turns around and James is there at the ball, and James is like, you took care of my dad. And then he shows Anna a picture, and he's like, but my dad didn't have a beard back then. And then Anna says, oh my God, that's Henry.
Henry? Rustic.
And then she was like, and then Henry would always tell me that Henry would always say that if you ever met my son would treat you like a princess.
Henry, portrait of a serial killer.
Right. So then they go to the ball.
You agree with that? Okay.
They go into the ball. Hot Christopher's back talking to Sarah. The Queen's back in an outfit.
Everybody's back.
They're all laughing and having fun.
Jack Kay is back from a former movie.
Jack Kay pops in and goes, "Ooh, I'm back." Ooh.
They should just do a day. Like Hallmark and Lifetime should do this. They should pull in some of their bigger stars, like their Candace Camerons, their Lacey Chaberts, their Jackays, their Vivicas, and just have them do like a day of just cameos that they can just sprinkle into whatever movie it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then like the Vivica pops in and goes, "You bought the wrong present."
Yeah.
You know what I think that they're doing though? I think since the movies are going on for so long, I think that like they're showing like their B team now, and then they're saving the bigger stars for like after Thanksgiving.
Well, they're starting up this past weekend. They had one with some names in it. Something Christmas sweater. Never Trust a Man in a Christmas Sweater, I think it was called. In fact, written by our friend Nina.
Mm-hmm.
Nina Wyman.
Oh,
because that one had Kimberly. What's her last name? The girl from the Princess Bride, or not Princess Bride, from the Father of the Bride.
Oh, Kimberly Paisley.
Yeah,
she's married to Brad Paisley.
Yeah, I forget what her maiden name was, but yes.
So I think we're gonna be seeing like Jackie and all of them like in December.
Yeah,
Lacey, Candace.
They spread them out. They've definitely been building their B team, and they like really the C team are the ones that are in like the spring movies and stuff like that, because they're basically trying them out and getting the audience to know them so they can start using them in their like crown jewels.
Right. I'm sure Tatiana Ali will be back.
Is that it? Is the movie done?
I think that's it. I was just.
Oh no!
The final scene.
So then they waltz, and then it's Christmas Eve, and then it's Christmas Eve, and they're doing a gift exchange, and then James gives Anna some royal slippers, which I guess this means they're gonna get married and do the deed,
Ooh.
and then they kiss, and then it's over.
That was a nice nod to Cinderella to end the movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't mind, like, this movie wasn't the most exciting movie, but I didn't mind it. Like, it was okay.
I actually liked it. I really liked it. I thought it was cute. Like, would I watch it again? Probably not, but I found it enjoyable. I found myself engaged by all the people in it where I wanted to keep watching. Yeah.
Yes, I got sucked into it for some reason. There's something very quaint about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to be staying in that inn. That sounds like, we make fun of it, but would it be just kind of relaxing to stay in this inn and see these Christmas people outside?
Especially this Christmas.
I think I'm on board with this.
Especially this Christmas, because it's like, I didn't know about you guys, but we normally leave town. We normally go to England during Christmas. We can't go this year for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. So Christmas is going to be a little different for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
So
these people exist in a bubble, pretty much. Exist in a bubble, so it's healthy. You don't have to worry about any nonsense.
And then next Christmas, we'll probably have a kid.
Wow.
You're like, oh wow, yeah.
Well, actually, there's a chance we might have one by this Christmas.
Oh wow.
We have our big interview. We have our big interview tomorrow. The one where they separate us and put us in two separate rooms and then ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But we've been through the green card interview, so I'm an old hat at this shit.
That's exciting.
So yeah, I might be like, guess what, guys? I got a little gift this Christmas.
That's awesome.
She's 13. Anywho, if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook at Les Kirkendall Barrett, or you can find me on at my website, leskirkendallbarrett.com. We need more reviews. So please, 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 please.
5 stars.
You listen to this, give us a 5-star review. We could use it. And Jason, how can people find you?
Well, first of all, they can find all of us on Instagram at Lifetime of Hallmark Podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Big Shot Jason. What about you, Kurt?
Well, Fringe live stream is back on the air. There's about a month off, but it's back every Saturday night now. It's going to be Saturday nights.
Ooh.
And so look at Fringe live stream. Look it up on Facebook Live. It's going to air 9 o'clock Eastern. I don't have what the equivalents are, but 9 o'clock Eastern. And so if you tune in like 8:45, you can see one of my sketches. I'm doing brand new sketches every week. I might have my own full-length show in December. Wait and see.
Oh, the Kirkpatrick Show.
Yeah, the Kurt
Fitzpatrick Show.
Kurt Fitzpatrick Show in December. So I'll let you know about that. Also, I'm a regular guest. I've been a regular guest on the Shelf Shedding Movie Show. And the host of that is going to come on with us at some point. He already listened to one of our episodes to prepare.
Yay.
So that was exciting. And then I'm on kurtfitzpatrick.com. That's Kurt with a K, of course, and you know that.
Of course. And also, I have a couple of other podcasts. If you're a fan of soap operas, you can check out my podcast, Soap Opera Love in the Afternoon, where my co-host and I talk about your favorite daytime soaps, both in the United States and the United Kingdom. And if you like reality shows, you can check out my podcast, The Reality Reading Rainbow, where I read about books written by reality stars, and then I talk about them. And this week, the book I am reading is The Naked Truth, written by Danielle Staub from The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yay.
Kurt and Jason are like, oh, great.
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm going to be
no, I
watching
wanna
The Princess
encourage you
Diaries
about
instead. I
podcast.
can't read that book. Sorry.
You read it so the rest of us don't have to.
Yes.
Exactly. I am reading it. I'm doing you all a solid, and I'm reading it so that you don't have to.
Thank you.
And I guess that's it. So I will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.